Today we're baking. We're making a Flourless chocolate cake. It's a very simple recipe and it's easy to make. The ingredients: 175 grams of sugar, 125 grams of butter, 6 eggs, and I'm going to add some vanilla bean extract. The zest of We're using Clementines today, you can use oranges. 250 grams of dark chocolate. So first of all, it's best to line a cake tin of your choice with baking pod. I'm using a pot of boiling water, hot water. It's on the hob, but the hob isn't on. And what I'm going to do now is break the dark chocolate into chunks, place it in this bowl and melt it. A very important thing to note is the chocolate that we're using. It is 70% cocoa. And you need a good quality chocolate for this. It's all about the intensity of the flavour. So, you know, don't necessarily use this. I've got also another type of chocolate which is probably the best. And in this way it melts more quickly than if you put in a whole slab of chocolate. You can also do this in the microwave. Chop carefully, mind your fingers. Place the chocolate in the bowl. I'm just breaking in the last. I'm going to place this over the pot and wait for it to melt. So once you've separated the 4 egg whites, you can put them to one side. Add 75 grams of sugar, golden caster sugar. It's natural, unrefined cane sugar. Just whisk this together gently. Just a splash really of vanilla extract. So I'm just going to cut it down the middle and then weigh it, and that works usually. And that's perfect, 125 grams. I'm going to cube this quickly. The next step is to zest this clementine. The skin is quite thin. Tap the grater. So there's your zest. It's not very much, but it makes all the difference. And you really need this to melt before I start on the egg whites. And the reason is that this is a flourless cake, and the egg whites, the beaten egg whites, provide the kind of lift, the air, the rising agent. Preheat the oven. This is a fan oven, 180 degrees, and ideally set the timer for 45 minutes. Done? So now I'm going to add the cubes of butter, which will melt into the chocolate. And whilst they begin to melt, I'm going to start whisking the egg whites. So I've got a separate whisk for my egg whites, so off I go. I always add the zest to this mixture, which is the 2 whole eggs, 4 egg yolks and a splash of vinegar extract. I think that's ready to go once the chocolate's melted. This is 100 grams of sugar, but slowly, so I'm going to add maybe 20 grams and whisk. And you can see the mixture gaining volume too. Slow, but it's working. I think it's worth just letting it do its thing. Almost done. So I'm just adding the last of the sugar to the egg whites. I mean, you want all of this, it's amazing. And I'm not going to whisk it, I'm just going to mix it together. So what I'm going to do is add a dollop of this to the mixture, just to lighten it, and then I'm going to pour that mixture back into here. This you can beat through quite vigorously, but once chocolate goes into the egg white, you really don't want to, you want to fold it through really, you know, figures of 8, that's what we'll be doing in a minute. You don't have to do this because it's, but I'm afraid I've run out of parchment, so I'm just greasing the edges of the cake. It's never stuck before, but it nice. I'm going to pour the dark mixture into the egg whites, and then we are simply going to fold it through. Okay, so I'm going to use this very large ladle, and I'm just going to mix it through. Because this is a flourless chocolate cake. You can see it coming together. I think that looks good. I think that might be ready. Okay, we'll grease these. Cake has priority, of course. So in this goes. Are very dear friends. You only do this for very dear friends. I think it's just nice to have a nice shape there. Oh, I think this is ready. Done all the hard work. It's time for break. Let's have some wine, some Moscatel. Presentation is really important, I think. Well, I've got here a glass, a crystal. It's really quite sweet. It's a bit clunky in design, but I quite like it. The cake has been in the oven for 30 minutes now, so I'm just going to check very quickly. It looks great. You can see there's still a bit of wobble, so it still needs to cook, so I'll leave that in. But I'm going to take these little ones out now because they'll be ready. Now they look amazing. So after 40 minutes, the cake will be ready. Remove it from the oven. Place it on the cooling rack. So after we've let it cool, and we're going to open it up. So you see the centre's dropped, and you've got this lovely crater. And slide it onto the cake. And there we are, one flourless chocolate cake, ready for consumption, but only with your best friend.